about sheet pans. Sheet pans is a super easy way to make supper. We're going to make 3 different sheet pans right now. I don't recommend making 3 at one time, but this is what I'm doing for this week. I love having this easy meals and the vegetables, and it's basically just me and my boy eating this week. So this is simple and easy. So let's talk about the vegetables I have. I have little potatoes, which are all cut up, and I cut them into halves, and then I cut them again. So 4 pieces out of the potato. And I purchased a little bag, and I only used half the bag because that's enough for us. So that is going on 1 cookie sheet. You can use parchment paper. I happen to have these wonderful liners that I like to use. And we're going to put our potatoes on there on one side. The potatoes and the carrots will take longer. So potatoes and carrots, your root vegetables, the vegetables that grow below the ground are the ones that take longer. So you're going to stick your oven on at 400 and you're going to cut up some carrots and potatoes. Now your carrots can be cut. I've got little circles done, which will go quicker. And then I cut them into rectangles is what I'm trying to say. And I like a crispy carrot. I don't know about you. So the bigger they are, the longer they'll take to cook. Your potatoes, carrots, beets, parsnip, turnip, all those will take longer. You cook them at 400. So those are those on the cookie sheet. And then you add oil to it. Now you can add oil in a bowl first and mix them up. But I love my spray oil. And I'm using olive oil. And I just spray all my veggies. And then I decide on a spice. You can use something as simple as salt, pepper, and garlic. Salt and pepper and garlic powder. Anybody that still has Epicure, SPG is like that. You could put a great one is rosemary. Rosemary and potatoes taste so good. But rosemary and garlic is one that I love on my potatoes. So sprinkle your potatoes. Oh, another great one to put on this would be a little bit of garlic butter. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of garlic butter to this to just give it that extra flavor. So that was rosemary, garlic I used there. I picked up some garlic spread. I'm going to throw a little bit on the pan and cook that in the oven. So that's going to take a good, I would say good 25 minutes, if not more. Great. 25 minutes. You can check on it and see if it's cooked enough for you, but keeping them small will help it go faster. And I would give it a stir halfway through. That helps get the potatoes cooked all over all of the different sides. My oven's on at 400. We're going to pop that in right now. So there's your potatoes and carrots. Stick that in my oven. What I love about those little pans is that I can get 2 in. Okay, so some other vegetables I have on the go here. We're going to put those in the bottom oven. I have 2 ovens, which I love because I can cook everything at one time and then it's all done. So we're also going to do our meat. But let's talk about our veggies first and we'll get to our meat. So these veggies here, I have a whole tray of different ones. We have red peppers and yellow peppers. You can cut your peppers into strips. You can cut them into little squares. Whatever you desire, depending what you're having. I'm making 1 big pan of vegetables that are quicker to cook. So I've got my peppers. I have mushrooms here. My mushrooms I just cut in half. Orange peppers, and then, oh yeah, and I did cherry tomatoes because I'm going to have some salmon. I also picked up a zucchini, and you can cut that in circles or you can cut it in strips depending what you want. So I'm going to cut it in strips and some in circles and see which I prefer on my plate. So put it in there, and I like to mix up the colors. This is great in the summer when you're harvesting your garden. You have so much vegetables and you don't know what to do with it all. It's a great way to use up your veggies. And I love beets. I love beets. Beets would be going with my potatoes and carrots, but they only had a huge bag that would have lasted me forever. And I didn't really want to buy a huge bag right now. Beets. I'm really the only one that will eat it. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of zucchini on there. Let's chop up this one. And then the other thing I did was I had half an onion in my fridge that was left over from the other week, and I want to get it cooked up. So I'm going to throw it on the pan too. And that is, I have one more veggie I'm going to show you, but these are all my, now onions, I'm just going to cut it. That's a half onion. I'm just going to quarter it and have nice big pieces. That's how oh shoot. That's great. Okay. Nice big pieces. So there's my pan of veggies. I love all the colors. Ton of vegetables for the week. That'll go in the fridge. I won't think twice about it. And I'll eat all those veggies. The other veggie I picked up was snow peas. Now, I love snow peas just raw. And it says to top and tail them and then put them in for about 8 minutes. So if you wanted snow peas, you could. I'm going to leave mine raw because that's how I like them. So what we're going to do with these, we're going to spray them all with oil. Help them cook. And you can cook them until they caramelize. And you just, I would check on them halfway through, so in about 10 minutes, I would check on them. These are not going to take near so long. These are more like a 15-minute or so. Pick out your spices, salt and pepper and garlic. I'm going to do SPG, which is salt, pepper, garlic, but, add salt, pepper. Another great one is smoked paprika. Smoked paprika is great because it has a little kick to it. So if that's something you want, there you go. Use it. Let's see what else. Oh, chili. Chili is a great one if you want a little bit of spice, like a heat to it. Thyme is good. Rosemary. Turmeric is great. So those are all good ones. So this one's going to go in the bottom oven and cook. Isn't that nice? I love the look of those veggies. So let's get our meat ready for the oven to cook for them. We might need more pans here. Yeah, we're going to need more pans. Okay. One of my proteins is just going to be sausages. So I decided to just buy sausages, Farmers Johnson sausages, Johnsonville Farmer double smoked, because if they're already smoked, they won't take long to cook. Now, it's up to you how you cut it. You could cut it in little circles, and that would be your meat for that meal. And because it's smoked, it won't take very long to cook. So they would be really great with those veggies. I wonder if I can make room on there with those veggies. Probably can. So I don't have to have 2 times cooking. I like to have all at 1 time. So I made some room. We're going to stick the sausages on there. Like I said, you can cut it up in circles. You could cut it and make them into half the size of a sausage, depending on your preference. Like you could cut them on an angle. And then you have them like this. See that? So there's a long piece or circles. You do whatever you want. I'm just cutting them different ways. And I will finish cutting those up before I stick it in the oven. All right. And you can cook all your sausages or just 2 or 3, depending what you want. Okay, let's move this over. Okay. Now, I also have salmon and chicken. I'm trying to put those both on the tray. Now, the idea behind sheet pans is you're going to put your veggies and your meat on the same tray. I didn't because I want to cook a whole bunch of stuff in one go and have all my meals ready. So chicken needs to be cut up into little, change my sheet here, my cutting board. So I have chicken. What I'm going to do with my chicken is I'm going to cube my chicken and then cook it. But I'm going to put pesto on my chicken and garlic butter. So I have some pesto made up, and I've frozen some. So we're just going to cut our chicken up into little cubes. That way it cooks quicker. Now you can butterfly your chicken and do a whole piece of chicken if you want. This is what I'm doing. So we're going to put on some chicken and going to put some pesto in there and a bunch of garlic butter. Now, and the last thing we're going to do is salmon. I wanted to make some salmon. So I'm going to put my salmon on there. Fish is really good with lemon flavored and spices. Okay, so there's my chicken. We are going to cover that in pesto. I wash my hands. And I want to put some garlic butter on that chicken. So I want it to have garlic and the butter to go with the pesto. Okay. So you can make your own garlic butter. It just was trying to make. Now, don't ever put the butter on the chicken and then stick it back, your spoon back in there, because you're touching raw meat. So, oh, that'll make that smell so good. So this one won't need oil because it's got the butter in there. And then I'm going to put a whole bunch of pesto on there. And we'll cook it. And actually, what I would do with this is I would add some Parmesan cheese once it's all cooked. Oh, that looks so good. Sorry, the bowl was in your way. Okay, and let's put some salmon on the other side. Now, I want to show you what salmon I pick up. Oh, I love cooked good salmon. You can't always get it this time of year. So I like to pick up a package of the wild salmon. And what I like about these packages is inside your salmon is all in individual packages. So if you're on your own, there's only two of you, or you're like me, that your husband doesn't like that kind of fish, this is great when I just want to pull out some salmon for my supper. All right, so the salmon comes in, like I said, sealed packages. You cut them open. You're going to take a paper towel and get rid of that wetness, and we're going to throw it on the cookie sheet, and it will go in the oven too. And that way I've got 3 proteins cooking, pile of vegetables, and this will do me all week. Chances are I won't be eating anything else but this. So I'll have a little bit tonight. Paper towel. And I mean, you can take that chicken when it's ready. You could put it in a bun to change it up. You could, where's my other? You could have, oh, my poor puppy is sick. You could, the sausages, you could cook them whole, and you could throw a sausage on a hoagie bun, and you could have a hoagie bun with all those vegetables on it. Okay, so I just dried up the salmon because it was good and wet from being frozen. I'm going to throw it on that cookie sheet. Salmon. And again, you could cover that salmon in the pesto if you wanted. I'm not going to, but okay. There's my salmon. I highly recommend a lemon with a lemon flavor, but I happen to have a salmon glove. I'm going to use that on my salmon. And then we'll stick that in the oven. So my top oven will have both meats, salmon or both meats, and my top oven is at 400 for my chicken, my salmon, and my potatoes and my carrots, which are going to take longer to cook. The salmon won't be so bad. And in the bottom is my big tray of vegetables with my sausage. And oops, that won't take any time at all. I need oil on those. Yeah, it won't take near as long as this one will. Need to keep an eye on this salmon because it can take long. Again, keep an eye on it, check on them. And we'll just put the oil, should have went on first. I'm just talking. Okay, so that is my meals made for the week. 3 different meals, just on my own with my son. Like I said, I'll go through these like crazy. It won't, this will feed us, but if you're feeding a bigger family, there's no reason why you can't make one big sheet pan. And I wanted to show you before I shut down here, the Busy Cook's Guide. This is 9 pages long with how to do your sheet pans. I talk about the heat you need to use, what vegetables cook longer, which ones take less time. And this is free. I took some time to put it together for you. If you're interested in it, just comment sheet pan, let me know, and I will get it over to you as soon as possible. I'm planning to make a marinade one, which is another one. You could use marinades, and you could use a marinade on your meat and then throw it in the oven. Anyway.